Hello, my name is Mark Manka, and I'm here today to talk to you about timeme Pro. I'm going to walk you through what it takes to use the application from the time you first install it on your device to the time that you're using it on a regular basis. So once you install timeme, you'll see it inside of your applications window. Here I've just moved it to the top of the screen on my list, and I'm going to go ahead and launch it. When you first launch it, you will see a button to allow you to add tasks. So go ahead and click this button and we will add our first task. Now timeme Pro lets you add tasks and assign them to categories, to a client, to projects, and as well as allow you to specify the name of the task itself. It does this so you have a lot more flexibility in how you sort and filter your reports. So there's a little bit of complexity while adding a task, especially for the first time. But once you've done that, you get a lot more flexibility in how your task is shown to you and how you can filter it when reporting. So here what we're going to do is we're going to add our task to a category, and the category we're going to create is called work. We're going to add a new client. So here we're going to pretend that we're part of an advertising agency and we have multiple clients. So we're going to call it ABC Corp. And because I also want to use timeme to track personal things, such as how much time I'm exercising or commuting, I'm going to restrict this particular category so it only shows up when I have selected work as my category. So if I select personal as a category, I will not see ABC Corp as a client. Now if I say specify always, I will always see ABC Corp as an option. So here you have the ability to even filter what you see when creating a new task. So here I'm going to create a new project and I'm going to call it product launch. And again, I'm going to make this exclusive to a category. So it's exclusive to work. So because we have many clients and many product launches for those different clients, I want to make this project as a common thing that I'll do within my category or work. I could have made it specific to ABC Corp or the client. If I had done that, I would only see this project whenever I select ABC Corp as my client. But as is, I will see this project available to me as an option whenever I select work as my category. So here, because this project is just getting started with ABC Corp, we're going to do contract negotiation as my task. And again, for the same reasons as pointed out above, I'm going to make this exclusive to a category. I can add in some optional description as well as specify completed if I've actually already completed this in the past. And I'll just show you what that looks like. You will get an additional stop time drop down here. I can set the date if I like, and same with the completed time. But for here, we're just going to say that it's in progress, and I started it a few minutes ago, and I'm going to go ahead and create this task. Once I create the task, you'll see it here in the task list. That first button only shows up the first time you launch timeme. Every other time you launch timeme, you'll see your task list here in the main window. Now from your task list, you can click on a task, stop it, edit it, or delete it. Or you can click the BlackBerry button and you can start a new task. You can start a new trip distance task, and this is the thing that does GPS tracking for you. Or you can begin to view reports, whether it's task reports or distance reports. And finally, you have options to stop, edit, or delete the running task, edit your task templates, configure preferences, view help, etc. So what we're going to do now is we're now going to assume some time has passed, and we're going to pretend that we need to drive to a client for a presentation. So here what we're going to do is we're going to start a new trip distance task. What we're going to do is we're going to turn GPS tracking on, and it will find our initial location. And while it's doing that, we're going to go ahead and enter our from location. So we're going from work, and we're going to ABC Corp. I'm going to go ahead and click next. But before I do, I want to show you the miles here. Ordinarily, this will conform to the miles that you have on your odometer. So you'll put a start mileage here, or if you're in kilometers, configure that preference within the preferences screen, and this text will change to kilometers, and the tracking will be done in kilometers. But here I'm going to go ahead and hit next. Now, we're back to the new task screen, because in addition to tracking where you're going, we also track the time that you're traveling, such that you can keep track of that and report on that. You'll notice that the task screen is a bit different from what it looked like before. There's a lot less user interface. And that's because of the simple fact that you tend to perform the same tasks over and over and over again. So there's no reason to keep on typing your category and your client and your project or selecting each thing individually. So what timeme does is it groups all of those things together. Now here my text is a little long, so you see contract negotiation .pr, and that's the beginning of product launch, or that project that we had entered. If I had multiple tasks here, I would see them all within the list. But for now, we need to actually create a new task because we're just getting things started. And here you can see the effects of when we were setting the client, project, and task exclusive to our work category. So here we're going to go ahead and hit work. And now we go and can choose our client, ABC Corp. The project, we're not actually going to enter it this time. And now we're going to type in travel. And we're always going to make this available, because when I start to create my personal tasks, I do want travel to be an option to me. So we're going to keep it here, and we're going to go create this. Now, because we're doing this in demo mode, we don't actually have a connection to GPS, but on your actual device, this would begin to show you how many satellites you're connected to, and it would show you the total distance that you've traveled. You can see that the previous task has stopped, because by default, timeme will only allow you to have one task running. So that's running. And now let's go ahead and stop that task. Let's switch gears and show you what the basics of reporting looks like. If I click the BlackBerry menu and then hit the Task Reports button, the reporting screen will come up. And here I can see reports on a daily, weekly, or monthly basis. I can also type in a range. So here, if I want a daily report, just to see what I've been doing today, I can select the day, hit update, and my list will change. Same thing with weekly or monthly view. What I can also do is begin to filter my results based on the work that I've done. So this is where the usefulness of specifying your category, client, and project begins to come into play. So here, if I choose my category and call it work, I can see all the tasks that were related to work. Here I can also type in my tasks related to product launch. And because the only thing we'd specified in product launch was contract negotiation, I can see the total amount of time I've spent for this particular month doing things related to the product launch, or to the product launch project. I can then email my task to myself or to anybody else, and the email will come in two formats. It will either come in HTML, and then you can also send yourself a CSV file, which stands for comma separated value file, and that can be loaded in Excel, OpenOffice, numbers or any other spreadsheet application on any platform that you might be using, whether it be PC, Macintosh, or Linux. So I'm going to go ahead and close this screen. And that is the basics of how you use timeme. Thanks a lot for your time, and we hope you enjoy the product.